Greetings from Dallas, Texas. It's Sales Coach Chuck here with our Chuck's Coaching Corner of the Week. And this week what I'd like to do is share with you a huge sales tool that's very important that every one of you should have in your arsenal. As many of you know, I talk about having sales tools and then more importantly, utilizing those sales tools and implementing some of those, whether it's a fast fax profile or a main point card or a personal website, whatever it is. There's a ton of available sales tools that are available to all of you out there. And one of the top 10 on my list of sales tools is a book that is titled Words That Sell. Words That Sell. And you can obviously pick this up at any Barnes & Noble or Amazon for less than $13. And this book, again, top 10 on my list of available sales tools for us to use. And basically there's four main reasons why I want to recommend this book to you today. Number one is that you will, by using the book and implementing what it teaches you in there, you're going to be able to basically have a gain in your vocabulary tenfold. You'll also have a gain in your writing vocabulary. If you are doing emails or any kind of written proposals, any kind of client communication that requires writing, I'm telling you, Words That Sell is going to help you become more professional. The third thing is that I know that most salespeople out there would never probably ever, one, buy the book, and two, if they bought the book, they might not even open the pages of it. So it gives you a distinction above your competitors and above all the other sales people by utilizing the book. And then the last thing that it's going to do, and this is the biggest one, it's going to help you close more business. And I really found this interesting. At the very top of the book, it has a little client testimonial here, but it says, "You'll wonder how you ever managed without it." And now that I've been using the book for a couple years, I can tell you that I wonder how I ever managed without it as well. Now, when I was first exposed to this book, and frankly, I don't even remember how I was, but I did come across the book. I put it in my, in fact, it's not even in my bookcase. It's right here within arm's reach. But the first thing that I did was basically this, is I bought my whole staff, my IT webmaster, my graphic artist webmaster, my graphic artist, my proofwriter, my proofreader, those people that were on my team all got this book. Secondly, I went out to my sales clients at that particular time and told them, hey, y'all have to have this book. So if you run into any of my sales coaching students or sales management students, chances are that they're going to have this book. So it is it's a huge tool to have right here. Now, there's four chapters in the book, and let me just read them off to you. But there's the grabbers, what they call the grabbers. There's the description and benefits chapter. There's the clinchers, and then the special strategies. For salespeople, you're probably going to be using the clinchers quite a bit because it goes into closing statements that motivate your audience to respond. And the special strategies gets into building on bashing an image, selling yourself, and more. Now, that's fine and dandy. There's only 4 chapters, but let me just read to you some of the available pages that has a ton of information per page. So when I state one of these titles, that means there's probably 50 to 100 of words or phrases alone on that page. But check this out. Persuading your audience, minimizing risks, the moment of decision, the call to action, the PS, the lift note, speaking or writing guarantees, ordering information, selling yourself on your personal traits, selling yourself on your achievements, selling your company on the company's traits and achievements, and it goes on and on. And if you look at my book here as an example, you can tell that I just have little areas bookmarked here, like snappy transitions. Here's one right here that I use with a lot of my sales students. So you can look right there and see it right there on the video. Another one is the moment of decision. And look at all these suggestions here. And the call to action. Here's another one that is extremely important for salespeople. So I really want you to take a look at this. Now, as we bring today's video training to a close, let me just share with you a couple of things that are very important. Number one, as it relates to this book, Words That Sell. Here's the first and most important thing. Go buy it. Okay? Where do we buy it? Again, Barnes & Noble's, local bookstore, or again, on Amazon.com, brand new for less than $13. Okay? Then the second thing I'm going to ask you to do is read. Go through the table of contents on the very front, and it will list out all the different sections, and you really need to get in here and look at, this section will pertain to me. This section will pertain to my industry. And then what you could do is just do a top 10 list of, you know what, these are 10 new words or phrases that I'm going to start using in my sales processes. And then the last thing I need you to do is implement it. I mean, put it to use. When you write that next email, use a bigger or better word, or use that better phrase, that more professional phrase. Very, very important. And one last thing I want to give you today before I close off is this. One of my students who is using the video technology and communicating with his students, I just got an email from him the other day. He said it was unbelievable to see what little things he could fine-tune in his presentations just by videoing himself off his laptop. So what he does is he's now practicing his presentations as well as using video technology to communicate with his clients. Be it overcoming objections or doing presentations, he now can do videos right off of his laptop. And as most of you know, I resell that product, so if any of you out there are interested in hooking up with some of the video technology or at least finding out more information, please make sure to contact me, Chuck at chuckbauer.com, or my personal cell phone number, which is 972-740-4559. So with that, I hope you guys have a great sales week. Good selling to each and every one of you. Godspeed. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.